And we're live.
I'm never going to smoke. I'm not going to smoke in a state where it's not legal again. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
No more trouble for me.
Yeah.
Not only legality, but like it's not as safe. There were these the last time I had any, I guess, experience with marijuana was a really bad one. We got these like homemade edibles someone brought over, but the person that brought them didn't make them. Whenever she handed them out to everybody, it was a bad time. A buddy of mine started having like he was like sweating, and the best way I can put it is my teeth itched. I don't know what the fuck was in them, meth or something. I don't fucking know, but it was not good. It wasn't a sensation I've ever felt before, and I don't want to feel it again. So I haven't really messed around since
That's
then.
the other thing I want to get back into. Like I used to cook a lot of edibles. I'm really good at it. Like I've got a whole process. It's really in depth. It takes, several hours, and I make really, really fucking good edibles that taste good and are strong as fuck.
Nice.
And but I've had edibles from other people before that just ruined my night.
Yeah.
That just ruined my whole fucking night.
I'm convinced that, I don't really like eating edibles at all, because it seems to me like it is always a kind of a grab bag, even though they say 5 milligram or 3 milligram or 10. Like some days I'll just take, like 20 milligrams and I will be fine. Or other days, like I'll be on my ass drooling after 10. And it's like, I don't like
Jericho,
that level of,
This is dispensary level, like
professional made, like,
professional. That's what I'm looking for.
Tastes great. Like there's a company called Cann, CANN.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 milligram THC, 3 milligram CBD in a seltzer kind of thing, whatever. Obviously it doesn't taste like weed, just tastes like a sparkling water. But like that's something that, a lot of people who don't even like to smoke will drink, because it's just enough if you have one or two to feel something, but you're not going too crazy. But it just, other types of like edibles, it just feels like way too much of a grab bag. I'll be fucked up or whatever.
Yeah, it's been like when we would go on our Colorado trips, like there'd be 2 or 3 of us sometimes, and like I'd usually bring my girlfriend, and so everybody would be like catching different flights home, and I would always make sure that my flight was the last flight home because I get all the leftover drugs.
I've heard this. That's hilarious.
so like Chiz has already caught his like train or his bus back home, and Taylor's already flown out his stagecoach. The Pony Express has already left out of the station, and like Taylor's already flown out, and whoever else, and now it's just me and my girlfriend. It's time for us to like drive to the airport, and all of the drugs are like, we've cleaned the whole like rental house up, but all the drugs are right there in the center of the table, and I'm just like, gotta do all these drugs before we leave, baby. I was like, gotta do all these drugs. There's no way we leave drugs behind, and I don't know how I feel about moving drugs back home. Well, yeah, there's edibles. We can move those back home. Just put them in a box of candies. They'll be fine. I do that all the time. If you just go buy a box of like Junior Mints and like take edible Junior Mints and pour out like half the Junior Mints and pour in the edible Junior Mints, and then top it off with regular Junior Mints, and then wax the box close and throw it in your luggage. Now you got a box of weed Junior Mints. That's
actually genius. Yeah, I like that.
It went far more in depth than that. I was having to buy a lot of different store-bought candies to match the edible candies that I had. I brought so many edibles back one time, but all the other stuff, it was like we got to smoke or eat like all this stuff that we can't bring home with us. And so like I get high as fuck. The airport in Colorado has like this like park and sit area where you can just like chill, and I almost feel like it's set up for this. So like we'd park there, and I would just smoke everything. I would just smoke like it's just one. I had that one of those cheap bowls, and I would just smoke bowl after bowl after bowl. I'm like, I gotta smoke it all. I don't want to throw anything away, baby. We gotta smoke it all. And
she's just being frugal.
Smoke. Yeah, I can't smoke anymore. And I'm like, I got you. I'm sitting there smoking like a 1/4 ounce of weed in 20 minutes or something like that. And then there's all the edibles that I can't bring back. Like I bought this bottle of pills once, and it was like THC pills. And I was just like, fuck it. And I just like took them all.
Oh,
I don't even know how much it was. Like I took like 30 pills. They're supposed to be like 5 milligrams each. They didn't work. but then like all the chocolates that were like they like said THC on the chocolate. Like there was no way to like smuggle that shit. So I'm just like, I eat all those, and I'm going through airport security, just like. The drug dog walks by, and I think it's a rhinoceros or some shit. Like just so goddamn high out of my gourd getting on the airplane, because you never know what those edibles are actually going to do to you. Because like those like Tic Tac THC pills did nothing, but like the chocolates would just send me to the fucking moon. Like my dose was about 75 milligrams, something like that. Like that's where I would be like comfortable and happy and not scary town. But at 100 or 100 plus, like not so comfortable anymore. And then one night we ate some like homemade stuff, and I went to another fucking planet. It had to have been 200 or 300 or more milligrams. Like I vomited from being so high from weed.
Jesus.
Like, that has never happened to me, and I'm very thankful. Like that is a tough situation to find yourself in when you have consumed too many edibles. Like I drank, I thought it was a 35 milligram like drink before I got on a continental flight. I guess I was going to like London or whatever. And I was like, I want to get on that plane and just be out. I don't want to wake up 8 hours just drooling.
Yeah.
Well, it worked, but it was 350 milligrams. So I'm standing there waiting to board the plane. And like, you know, I just like, I can't think straight. I'm not paying attention. Like I'm like dozing off in here. Slept the whole way, but I was so uncomfortable. And just to know like 4 more hours at least, buddy, like you're in it. You can't do anything to get out. It's not like coffee is going to save you.
I had, when the first time I ever had edibles, my friend knew this woman who grew weed, like outdoor hippie chick who grew weed out in a field. And so like when she would like do her harvest, she had the trimmings. And for Woody's benefit, the trimmings are like not the bud part of weed, not the part you really want. It's like the little like leaves
kind of trash,
and stems. Right? It's the trash. You wouldn't smoke it, but it does have THC in it. And if you use it for edibles, if you use enough of it, it still works. You just need to use more of it. And he gave me like a shoebox of them, like a shoebox full of trimmings, like several pounds. And we cooked that down into like these fudge brownies. And I've never been so high in my goddamn life. That was such a fucking nightmare.
Did it taste bad? It sounds like leaves and twigs and shit. It's not going to taste good.
You're not actually. The THC is taken out of those into oil, and then that oil is used to make fudge brownies. So you're not like eating twigs and leaves and stuff. But it did have a bit of a funky taste. But it was so strong with like the fudgy brownie shit that like you didn't mind so much. And I ate 2 slices because the first one didn't work right away, of course, because it's an edible. And we were just watching Trailer Park Boys, and all of a sudden, like, I was having like extreme time dilation where like big pieces of like my existence were just scattered to the wind. And then I would be like, oh, I'm alive again. I'm alive again. Where am I? Oh, and we're going back in. And like episodes were just like on and off. It was like I was watching a I don't know, a frame by frame type thing with the Trailer Park Boys. And that's when I threw up. And because it was fudge brownie, I it was like when Cartman like reverse shit out of his mouth, like when he's putting the food in his butt and shitting it. I like vomit this turd of fudge brownie into the toilet. It was so fucking gross. But my metabolism was like much faster than my girlfriend's. So like I had pretty much gotten over it by the time we like finally went to bed that night. And she was like, I don't know, I never felt anything. And I'm like, all right, well, lucky you, because that was traumatizing. and like 2 a.m, she just like bolts up in bed. She's like, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's like, where am I? And I'm like, you're at my house, baby. What's wrong? She's like, where do you live? And I'm like, I live in Gumlog. She's like, that's so far from where I live. And she starts crying. And I'm just like, well, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You know, you're going home. You can go home tomorrow or the next day or whenever you want. We can't go home now because I'm fucked up and you're super fucked up. But, you know, we'll get you home. Okay. She's, I'm so thirsty. I'm like, all right, I'll go get you a glass of water. I'll be right back. And she like grabs my arm with both hands. Don't leave me. And I'm like, all right, well, come with me. We'll get the water. I'm not going anywhere. It's just like, oh my God. She was so fucking high and paranoid from those edibles. That was a nightmare scenario.
Paranoia and like the time, I don't know what you call it, like time diffraction.
Dilation.
When you get dilation, when you get really high. There was one time I heard I was high at a party, and it was a small little gathering or whatever, and like we're watching this movie. I'm pretty high, and I hear like a door, like a car door slam or something. It was pretty loud, and I paused the movie. I'm like, did you guys just hear that fucking car door? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, turn off the lights, like it's fucking cops. It's gotta be like it's nobody, because we live. I live in the rural South. It's like midnight. Nobody slams a car door at fucking midnight except the cop. So I rush everybody into my bedroom, turn off all the lights, and we're just sitting there in the fucking dark for 10 minutes. And they're like, Anthony, it's not a cop. I'm like, just wait, wait,
just be sure.
Just be sure. Another time I was high playing this card game, and it's like 30 seconds per turn. And I remember like it's my turn, and I'm taking my time on the game, and it seems like I've been taking my time for like 3 minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes. And I'm like, is my time gonna run out? Like, what's going on? Am I hacking? Like, what's going on? It's very strange. But yeah, I really need to. It sucks being in like I envy Tucker because I would kill for fucking delivery weed of any sort.
So
Just gotta be a liberal.
Wow.
With our gay weed and our high gas prices.
If the delivery man fucked me in the ass when he showed up, I'd be like, all right. I'm lubed up. Let's do this.
I'm ordering a whole ounce at a time.
First. Can I smoke, and then we do the
what's the most I can get per time?
Andre is on the way with your order. Oh shit, no. Send Tristan. Jamal ruined me last week. Don't get me started about Omar. That weed was not worth the fucking squeeze. Yeah, I wish, man. It's fucking rough having to like black market some fucking weed. I'm getting out of the state as soon as possible.
It really is. I have one buddy of mine who he was my like dealer before he moved to Washington, like Seattle, to work in the field, because North Carolina, there's not a lot of jobs pertaining to weed. And I remember he brought back, he came back to visit, and he brought back the best fucking weed from there, that it made all the weed around here seem like this complete dog shit. It was legal, of course, you know, like legally grown, specially grown. I can't remember what strain it was, but it was fantastic. You could smell it through a plastic bag in my dresser. It was that potent, very potent. But yeah, now I'm just envying.
Get you caught. It's the kind of get you caught by your parents, and you're like, God damn it, dude.
Or by the feds.
Or by the feds.
They can be walking by outside, smell it in the bag, in the dresser, unlit. You know,
that was a problem with my weed. You could smell it through the bag and through the shipping bag and through the PO box. And out, you'd be in the parking lot, like, my weed arrived. I can smell it in there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm so sick and tired of being sober all the time. It's just no fun. No fun.
Life is pain, you know.
Life is pain. Yeah. Life is pain. I just want to get a little fucked up. Like not all the time. I mean, I've got to sleep.
Just most of the
time. Just like all the time I'm awake is when I want to be high.
How do you get to sleep without indica?
A very real problem.
You sleep so much better with weed, dude. Like you'll see tonight. You'll see tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to put weed against a BPAP machine and see who wins.
They mixed together. Fish was talking about feeding fucking marijuana smoke into somebody's BPAP while they were asleep.
That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would go so stale by the time it made its cycle. Like they'd be like, it would be really rough. That would be awful.
Also, my BPAP anyway, the good one I have, it's heated, humidified, pressurized, and filtered. So I don't know what I would get on the other end of all that.
You
need to get one of those volcanoes and just blow into the BPAP.
They didn't take my volcano away. Apparently those are like okay because you can smoke like legal stuff out of them or
What
whatever.
kind of psychopath would smoke tobacco out of a volcano? Like that?
I don't know.
Like a huge 3-foot thing. You're just like ripping a whole cigarette in one breath.
Dude, a whole that's a whole new hipster vibe. You're gonna.
I hate the
right
volcano
there.
though.
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather smoke a blunt or a joint or one of those tiny like $4 glass bowls than a volcano. And the volcano is $500.
Yep, it
Like
just doesn't go for me.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Did you buy
like
it, or did you just know someone with it?
I mean, I bought it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I have a.
I don't know why I asked that. You said you still had it. And I made it. You tried it. I'm sorry.
It's a cool gadget.
That's a high question. It's
It's a cool gadget to get out. Like you've got people over, and like, oh, you guys want to smoke? Do you? Well,
it's more of a like a how people have the big books on their coffee table and people ask about
conversation
them.
piece.
Conversation piece. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I had a cheap vape one time. It was this like a little box with like a hose that ran out of it, kind of like a hookah. And you'd put the weed in like a little cartridge and plug that into the machine, and it plugged into the wall. But it was just super wasteful. That was the other like downside of it. Like the amount of like minutes of you being stoned that you would get per ounce of weed was like really low compared to like a bowl or a bong. Or
What's the upside? Why would anyone like it?
It's really smooth. And it's that's it. I think it's really smooth.
Smoother than a vape. This thing is kind of nothing.
I don't know. It's close. It's probably on the same, probably on par with the vape. It takes like marijuana flower, like just like what you would like think of as marijuana, like the green stuff, and it vaporizes it at like the perfect temperature. Like you have a digital dial, so you set it for the exact temperature you want, and you can like Google what temperature you want, and so it doesn't like burn the weed. It like decarbs it.
So it gives you the vape experience from flower.
Yeah, and no smoke. It's not smoke, it's vapor.
It's the whole point is that it's only heating it to the perfect amount, so it's not lighting it on fire. It's just you're just heating it enough so it releases the THC.
Yeah, and you fill this big fucking bag up. It's got like a big clear bag. The bag is like this big, and like really big, and it fills that with the vapor, and then you've got like a nozzle so you can like suck out of the bag, but like. I don't know. I didn't like anything about it. That the nozzle would pinch my lips a couple times to the point where they bled, which was just obnoxious, incredibly painful. Probably because I was so high, but also like it just seemed wasteful with weed. And I never had like a great like steady source of weed where it was like, oh yeah, we'll just go get more tomorrow. It was always like, hope they got some more.
Yeah.
Kids these days have it too easy.